Let's go. Let's go, everyone. I'm fired up. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm fired up. I hope y'all fired up, too. Hoo-wee, sucker. If anyone knows where that comes from, what that's a reference to, let me know. Man. Shot out of a cannon tonight. We did it, guys. Is it just 3 points? Or are we winning MLS Cup? That's the question on everyone's mind right now. No, but seriously, man, let's see. Got some guys in the chat already. Gavin, Kyle, Nick, how's it going? I hope you guys are excited. You guys are, you have experienced one of the most epic comebacks in Atlanta United history. Hell of a show to watch. Horrifying for most of it, I'll say. Which is not good. This game has so much to talk about. And we're going to have no less than probably 6 people to come on and help us talk about it tonight. You guys wanted to get your voices out about this game, so we will give you the medium to do so. Alright, so hell of a game. Absolute comeback. The team showed that they have grit. They were finally able to put some of their ghosts, to sleep with having the stigma of not being able to come back after going down, after getting punched in the mouth. They didn't call it quits. They actually kept going. I thought after the first half, I was talking with some of our guys in Discord, I expected to see the team to come out in the second on fire. I believe, regardless of what the result of this game would end up being, Ronnie's message at the half would at least be, I want to see effort and I want to see all of you busting your ass. And that at least resulted in seeing a completely new Atlanta United coming out in the second half. Even though half of it was new, the other half, so not completely new, one half of it was new in the ridiculous attack that we had going on. But it was the same old kind of what we're used to on defense. So while we almost tried our best to sell this game, we still brought it back in kind of one of, this really was perhaps the goofiest Atlanta United game I've ever seen. It's just straight goofy. None of it made any sense. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. AJ, how are you doing? You were at the game. I'm sure the vibes were probably horrible for a while. Very macabre. But when did things turn around, and how did that feel?
Oh, man. Yeah, it was a weird one for sure. This I don't think is as weird as the San Jose Earthquakes game from 2018, but this is right beneath it because this had everything. This had terrible play in the first half. We were lucky that we were even 1-1 because we got played off the park. And yeah, we weren't doing too much. Really, really bad first touches for a lot of the players. And we were losing the ball constantly. And it just looked like just bereft of anything that you want to see at home. And somehow, yeah, we were able to pull one. With Ranchuk's, right-footed strike where it's like, It's like, if he's in the box, yes, he can strike it with his right. If he's outside the box, we saw how weak that right foot is. It is just a standing leg only outside of the box because, woo! But, yeah, we get punched in the mouth twice after the break, and I swear, I was about to boo. It was that bad. The vibes were that bad. People in my row left. I was like one of like 4 people left in my row.
Wow.
I'm right next to the supporter section. So
Wow.
yeah, it was bad vibes, but kept going, which is good. Like people didn't boo, which is good. But
There was
yeah,
groaning.
you know,
We did hear groaning on the broadcast.
yeah, yeah, it was very much where people were like, "What the hell is happening?" But yeah, you know, it's like the penalty, very, very rash to do. It's just like you can't do that at this level, and it's just really, what's the word? It's just like
Amateur
bull in
hour?
a china shop. Yeah, just like what are you doing? Why are you just bowling over your your attacker in the box? But and then yeah, Dominic Chunky had a pretty decent defensive effort, but on the ball there, obviously, yeah, just incredibly, incredibly bad first touch there. Hung his whole defense out to dry.
Is the
And
definition of a loose touch there.
yeah, it's a howler. It's definitely a howler, and you know he'll be talking to himself. Dylan knows what happened to. Everyone knows what happened. He's a young player. He's still a teenager. Like it'll be past him.
Yeah.
But is it a bad mistake? Yes, 100%. And yeah, we were able to somehow, you know, just with some fight back, with some very direct play, which is really what it is. I mean, we know this is our strength, and we said this. We said this in our 5 Stripe Weekly episode.
Yeah.
We need to be as direct as possible because they will just dwell on the ball. And while they got 3 goals, mostly because of a couple errors.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't earn
the
really
first
any
half,
of those goals.
Yeah, the first half, I mean, they were much better than we were, but they got a deflection from the parry, and then, you know, obviously they were able to score that inside the 6-yard box. So, I mean, yeah, all 3 goals are not like, I don't think they would write home about them.
No.
Any of their fans would either. But yeah,
They were all
our
gifts.
goals though.
We gifted them these goals. Like, it's criminal how easily we gift out goals.
Yeah, and it's something that we need to stamp out ASAP. But yeah, as far as our goals, I mean, you know, it's what we should be doing a ton, and especially on the road, this is how we can hurt teams. But you know, it hasn't been banner on the road quite yet, because yeah, there are moments where we are trying to possess too much, and it's kind of strange because really, besides Changqui, he was the only player that wasn't first choice. And whether it was fatigue from the international break, whether it was because a lot of players, click as well, coming into the side, not match fit. That much is clear. Schleich, he had an injury, a little twisted knee, but he didn't look all that good before either. Somehow, yeah, I think the changes actually were quite good. It was, I think, in one regard, Moranchuk at the 8, what people were calling for, and Miggy at the 10, Saba on the right. When Saba went on the right, he looked just, kind of this force, and getting that own goal, floodgates opened.
Mm-hmm.
NYCFC just pretty much, like, what can they do? Like, at this point in the game, when that happened, their heads started to go down, and yeah, it's just exactly what we needed. And Shani Silva coming on as well, lost a good bit of balls in terms of just like trying to make things happen, but just really bad passes. But he was able to get that ball, stand it up, where Miggy and Latte were in the area, able to head it home. I mean, that's just
Nick, I think they're coming for you.
Yeah, right.
Oh, what? I didn't know I was on. Good evening from the scene of the crime.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude. Because yeah, I mean, did we steal this? Probably. You know, did we?
Yes, absolutely we did.
But you know,
I believe what I saw in there. I believe what I saw in there.
Nick, I gotta correct myself because I remember you posted in the mailbag this week. What was Saba's shot that last time in own goal? Was that on purpose? Did he do that on purpose? I want to change my answer now because you do it 2 times in a row the exact same way. I think it's probably he thought about
it's on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you do. You put it in the mixer, and I was gonna really go off there, but that's what you do, and that's how you cause chaos. And you know, but yeah, that third goal, pretty much, if Miggy didn't score it, which he hasn't scored since 2018 in Atlanta, well, at least you know, for LA United. But his first goal for LA United, Moranchuk's first goal for LA United, and yeah, all 3 DPs scored in this, which is that's what you need. Latte with his 5th goal. And yeah, it's just he never gave up on it, just like the team.
Dude, that was
Never
so Joseph Martinez-esque. Just going in there, attacking a defender who was unsure of himself, and the goalie was making a mistake, and he just runs in, takes over, and chips it over to the goalie. That was so... I was like, that is 2018 Joseph Martinez right there.
Right, and I think it hit under the crossbar as well, and just like for emphasis. But yeah, it's yeah, man, just a crazy match. But as far as you know, anything that's replicable, I'm not sure. But you know, I think maybe Saba's is probably the most replicable.
The own goal. Yes, that's what our attack is predicated off of making the other team score own goals.
Yeah, because
whatever you can do to win, whatever.
Yeah,
it's true, and we needed this. This is a shot in the arm to be able to get some momentum, because man, it looked dire. But Nick, let us know your thoughts.
It was insane chaos in there. After we tied them up, at that point, the shirt came off for me, which is normal, you know. I mean, but I still believed. I thought we've got plenty of time. We can put it in again, and sure enough, Lath found a way to get the damn ball in the goal and win this game for us, and that was pure insanity. I mean, I don't know what it was like on your side, AJ, but down where I went, it went absolutely bonkers, insane chaos after that goal went in.
Oh, it was scenes. It was limbs. It was limbs everywhere. But yeah, it's oh man, like you don't plan for these type of games. But yeah, as far as you know, coming into the match, like what were your expectations? 3 points?
I expected us to get 3 points because, let's face it, this NYC side is in the middle of the table coming in. They're a rather soft team. They have not done anything impressive. And I thought, if we're going to get 3 points, here's the first chance. And 1-1, I was okay at the half. Yeah, as you said, we got outplayed in the first half. There was nothing impressive going on. Dyler makes the subs and a switch flip for me. Then we started playing. There was some strategy there that worked. It worked. We just came alive at that point. And I would, yeah, our defense sucks. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, after we went up 4-3, all I was thinking was, please, defense, do not collapse. Please do not collapse. You know, and I shouldn't have protected that. I shouldn't have.
How are you feeling when
8 minutes of stoppage time? Go ahead. Yeah,
exactly. 8 minutes went on the board. How'd you think?
Well, there were a lot of goals, I will tell you. There were a lot of goals, I'll tell you that. So maybe at least 6 minutes of it was justified. But
it's not a minute of celebration, though. I mean, it's, you know, that's no. And I mean, yeah, there was like a slight like VAR check or something.
Yeah.
I think before
On the fourth goal,
the, yeah, you know, so it's like okay, but even then, it's like it seemed like more so it was the NYCFC keeper taking all the time,
God.
and then how they're getting it back.
Yeah.
No. And Pro,
Somehow.
you're gonna go card Brad for it instead of Freese? Come on, really?
Yeah, it's absolutely bananas. But yeah, I mean, you know, as far as yeah, you know, I guess after the first, not the first, but after the 2 goals after the half by NYCFC, what were you thinking there?
I was stunned when we went down 3-1. I was absolutely stunned. I sat down in my seat. You know, I felt like I had been punched in the gut. You know?
Yeah. It was demoralizing.
It took 30 seconds, but I got back up and started being a mad fool chanting again, you know, because we don't quit in the UTDs. We don't. We do not quit. We keep bringing that energy. And
it's wild. Yeah, I mean, right. It's that. It's like, you know, I don't know if you caught what I said, but it was like borderline boo birds from people. Like, I think people were about.
Yep, I felt that.
Yeah. And it was like that vibe, because it was like either they left or they were gonna boo. And it was like, oh man, like these vibes are about to get real bad in here. And but yeah, like I think good on the fans for not doing that and holding some composure. The team held their composure. They deserve all the credit for fighting for 98 minutes. So
Nick, who were your top players of our team this game?
Saba, definitely. He showed me a lot of fight, and I enjoyed that. Miggy, he showed a lot of fight, definitely. Latte, and he does what he does. He kept trying to get in there, get opportunities. He eventually got one. He got the golden spot tonight. It was well deserved, you know, for scoring the winning goal. Mira, no, what is it with him? I swear, I want to like him, but his play is so wishy-washy for me. I mean,
it's a language style. It's just it's someone that, you know, it looks like he's disinterested in the game at times, and that's, you know, just kind of the style of play. But I think actually in the first half he actually looked probably the most interested in the match and had the best touch and was trying to make things happen, and he got a goal. But yeah,
He's the second highest rated player on SofaScore for us.
Yeah, so it's one of those like, yeah, I think he stitched a lot of things together. I think playing him at the 8 position, yeah, when you're chasing a goal, it makes sense.
Yeah,
like we talked about it, you know, kind of in a couple of 5 Stripe Weekly episodes, and yeah, when you're doing that and you don't have to play as much defense, great, totally fine. But yeah, if you're going against a side that is attacking very well, not the move. But, you know, I think, I mean, it obviously was that, yeah, he was able to connect the lines today. And, yeah, it was that, like, him playing a little bit kind of more as a deep-lying playmaker, more withdrawn on the left side, allowed Miggy to have space. And that's what it is. It's like space in the middle is what we've needed, because... Yeah, Miggy operating there. I mean, Parky tweeted out, he's saying Miggy has to play at the 10. He's saying he's the best 10 in the league if he plays there. Parky's saying that.
Wow, okay.
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
All right, balls in your court, Ronnie. All right, we'll see.
Yeah, right.
And I tell
but that's what
AJ,
you do. Go ahead.
AJ, what did you think when Ronnie came over to us and did the Ronnie roar?
That's what I was saying. I manifested that shit.
Yeah, yeah, they showed it on the broadcast too.
Oh man, like, we loved it.
Yeah. And you know, I don't know.
That. Let's do that.
Right, exactly. Like I think somebody, you know, like obviously they're members of the club that follow you know, us and all that and or looking at stuff. I mean, it was that. It's like he hasn't done that. He didn't do it for the first match.
Yeah.
But we're trying to see, okay, can we get this
And he does it against his
going.
past club. I did not expect that. I thought he'd be like, you know, when a player who used to play for a team scores on that team, they're usually pretty humble in the celebration. This was just like, nope.
Well, that's the thing. It's not like he's celebrating against NYCFC. He's celebrating with the fans of his current club that he is employed.
Huh.
So,
okay, if you're gonna read it like that, all right. All right, Nick.
I don't think there's
give us your final thoughts.
Is
Nick.
the past for him? The past is the past. This is now. This is 2025.
Nick, final thoughts for us.
We've got a lot of work on defense to do. No kidding. And if we can lock that down, we'll get there. If I am Dallas, I am quaking in my boots because we won, we came back, we have momentum. The fortress is here. This is our fortress. We kind of beat them in the preseason, but that doesn't really count. Yeah, they better fear coming in here next Saturday, and you all watching, bring it in the supporter section, the whole fucking stadium, please bring the energy. We need it.
Love it.
We need 3 more points.
We definitely do.
Let's go.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for the energy.
Let's go.
There we go.
Get up,
Love
man.
it.
See you, bud.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, bud.
Good night, man. Love it. Love it. That's the energy we're talking about.
Yeah,
that reminds me of me out there in the past.
Yeah, dude.
But,
whatever happened to that guy?
Colder.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know who's that guy. But no, it was much colder there, and yeah, no bathrooms out there. No bathrooms out there, guys.
All right, let's read a couple of these while we're waiting for our next guys. Gavin says, "Ready for Shannon tonight." Kyle Apgar says, "What a reversal." Nick says, "Let's go." Jack Dickens says, "Well, shit, this team brings all kinds of emotions out of me. We seriously need to cut out the mistakes. It's so effing frustrating. We shoot ourselves in the foot, but hey, we have a great attacker, but fair play to the team for fighting back." Kyle Apgar also says, "A game of mistakes for sure." Brian Diefenbach says, "Hell yeah, goofy as hell. White Waffle House United FC here." Jack Dickens says, "I thought Zonde and Jay made a real difference when they came on. I'm firmly on the side of Fortune starting over Sleesh." Interesting. All right.
Well, let's also give some love to our Patreon fam, which one of them was coming on, and the other one was also on. But yeah, let's put that graphic up.
Yeah, 1 second. Just put that on and then throw this guy on here. All right, so yeah, we have Nick in the ATL, Gavin Marshall, Jeff Landerden, and Andrew as our top all-star Patreons on the starting lineup tonight. Thank you guys for sponsoring and for hanging out. Really appreciate you guys. You help us do what we do. All right, so Gavin,
yes,
how are you doing? This is a win. This is a win. We got to win. So how does it feel?
When was the last time I was on for a win? When was I don't even remember the last time I was on for like a regular season win. I might have been on here for a playoff win last playoffs, but I don't remember the last time I was on here for a regular season win. And heck, a comeback victory. Big time result.
They're rare.
Absolutely big time result. Listen, going into this game, I'm thinking, like, I'm really confident going into this game. I'm telling myself, like, yesterday, just going into match day, I'm thinking, I think this is where things start to click. I think this is where we get that momentum. And I mean, I guess I might be right, but this is nowhere near what I thought was going to happen. So every single Atlanta United fan tonight felt every single emotion especially AJ. I know you felt every single bit of it. I heard what you said. These people, left? Like, you were one of the last people in your row? Because people leave games early?
Yeah. One of 4 people in the row. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Y'all,
little lonely.
Never leave an Atlanta United game early. I'm jealous I wasn't there tonight. Like, I really wish I was there. I've witnessed some pretty crazy things. Like, I was there for the Montreal comeback with when Brooks Lennon got his free kick goal. That was probably the most craziest game I've been to, but that's next level. I think that, listen, we've had so many comebacks in our history, but that's might be the best one. I don't know. I don't want to. We've had many comebacks. That's just who we are. It's
I mean,
big comebacks.
Well, that's up there. It's I would say Almada scoring from the parking lot. Was that a draw or was that a win?
Those are wins.
There were 2 good free kicks. There was the winner against San Jose, 2-1, and the game against Portland, which was a blowout.
Yeah. And but yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there. But yeah, if you were predicting this match, you need to bet on something because that's ridiculous. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. So yeah, going into this game, I'm like on Friday, I'm thinking this is where I think things start to click. And yeah, I was right, but this is not how I thought things would go. So start out. Listen, all 3 of NYCFC's goals were mistakes by us. Eric Williams made a bad mistake on the first goal. Brooks Lennon caused that penalty, and Chonky, if that's how you I'm not good with pronouncing that. Chonky, good, yeah. He made a mistake. So 3 of their goals that they scored were from mistakes. We have got to clear that up. We can't have that. Next Saturday, I don't want to see any gifting goals. We do that way too much. I feel like almost every time I come on, I'm talking about some sort of gifting goal.
You are correct. We gift a astronomical amount of goals to other teams. It's like in our contract as a franchisee in MLS, we have to gift a certain amount of goals a season. It's unbelievable.
And we can't do that against Lucho Acosta. So yeah,
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, we already are like 1-0 down against Lucho Acosta anyway. So it's like, let's not exacerbate.
Yeah.
But go on.
Listen, like, going into here, I'll get to what I was, but I'm gonna get to the Dallas game in a second. But so yeah, first goal, I'm thinking, shit, okay, that's bad. Then Moranchuk equalizes before the half. I'm like, okay, I mean, I feel like that was a pretty shitty first half, but that's good that we got the equalizer. And I'm thinking, all right, let's go, second half, let's go. And then blink, 3-1 down. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I see this a lot. This is just, I'm thinking, all right, here we go again. We're about to lose to NYCFC. They're about to get their first away win of the season. I mean, why not us? Why not us? And then, second goal. Saba own goal. Another Saba creating an own goal. He's done that a lot. I'm glad that happened. And without that, I mean, what happened tonight probably wouldn't have happened. So good to see. He's one of my stars for tonight, Saba. I thought he did pretty well. I did really well. That was good play. And then Miggy, oh my god, I was going insane. I was like, Miggy, like I think that's the first time he scored a goal off of his head for us, equalizing the game. I'm like, okay, holy shit, oh my god. I mean, I've seen it. Like, last season, we've had attempts at comebacks, but I feel like we didn't complete enough. Like, I remember, I got a little deja vu from 2 DC games last season, the Leagues Cup game and the regular season game. Went 3-1 down. One of them we lost 3-2. One of them we went to penalties, ended pretty much in a tie, and didn't win. But this time, got 3 goals. And Latte Lath, that was just really good for me. I get it was a terrible mistake from Matt Freeze, the goalkeeper, who was also fucking stupid for wasting time. And Guzan gets a yellow. Yeah, Guzan's gonna get a yellow for that, but not him. Freeze didn't get a yellow, did he?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. Of course. Yeah. No. Freeze, no, you're fine. Guzan, what are you doing? Why are you wasting time?
Guzan just gets so much aggro from the refs for just existing. versus every other keeper. It's ridiculous. I mean, like we talked about last time, Bragozin getting pushed into the net against Miami, and he's the one who gets yelled at. Like, it's just...
Yeah, it's Guzan's fault for everything.
The refs just hate him or something. I don't know.
Guzan's the bad guy. Our goalkeeper's the real evil guy. He's the antagonist. He's the guy we should go after.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know, I think that should be right in line. If we're winning and, you know, we're the bad guy and, you know, if we're the evil empire, great. Totally fine with it. Because that usually means a good thing.
Yeah.
But, hey, you know, the ref is the however guy. So it's, yeah, it was 3-1.
Yeah.
But, however, we won 4-3.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like you couldn't have done this any better. Like, just this style, the Ronnie roar, especially that Ronnie roar. Like, that's another reason why I wish I was there. Because when I was at the Montreal game, I don't believe you did the Ronnie roar. I'm like, hey, I wanted to see that. But
Exactly.
I mean, I'm really jealous you actually got to witness this. Like, anytime I see a game like this, oh boy, I wish I was there. But hope to be there this summer sometime. Hopefully, I get to see a Ronnie roar in the future. And I think we'll be seeing a lot more going forward with this win. This was a big time result, like I mentioned. Big time result. Couldn't have done it any better. The Ronnie War, yeah. Just the vibes now. It's like we're on like we got to keep this momentum going, going into next Saturday. Need to do better. You can't give gifts. I think we might see a new Atlanta United next Saturday. I feel like this is where we like. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be another 4-3 win like the way we saw today, but, you know, like a satisfying victory where we actually look at, hey, the defense is terrible, by the way. Defense has got to get better. It's got to get a lot better. I said, you know, Derek Williams, terrible goal to give up. It really sucks that Pedro Amador went out with a quad injury, another one of our players getting a quad injury. It's very annoying. We can't stay healthy. It's very annoying. And Schleich went down too. What was that about?
It seems... Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be serious. But...
Yeah, but both aren't serious apparently, which is relieving because, yeah, we're just the down players. And when you have to go into your squad to basically give a lot of minutes, then you're really making it worse because, yeah, you're not basically getting a full squad that's healthy with minutes. You're really dipping into the squad, and that really actually makes it a lot worse. So hopefully it's just not a big deal, just one match. And
yeah,
not
like we finally got the ideal starting 11 out there, and then it just like immediately starts breaking down again. It's just like, oh, come on, man, can we go one game?
We haven't had it.
It's
we
impossible.
haven't had the yeah. Like,
it's impossible to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. All right, so Gavin, final thoughts on this game?
Incredible, just unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know, man. I'm at a loss of words. I can't even. Oh, like
That's
okay.
a great word for it.
Fun fact.
Flabbergasted.
What? Yeah, I'm flabbergasted. Exactly. When it was 3-1, I meant to mention this. When it was 3-1, I'm like, okay. I nearly turned off the game and switched it on to MLS 360. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna watch every game now. I'm not putting my full focus into this crap show. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you were going through some like existentialism in the chat. You were posting some stuff in there.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
I know. Yeah, like Nick mentioned, every time they score, it's like every single one of us gets stabbed. It's like, oh. And it just puts us back to our seats. But hey, props to the fans for staying loyal. AJ, Nick, everyone that stayed, props to y'all. Never leave an Atlanta United game early. Never leave an Atlanta United game early. I don't know, like, even if we're down 5-0, I'm not leaving a game. I was at the home opener from 2023, Thiago's brace and stoppage, and I was there for the Brooks Lennon equalizer, where we were down to 10 men before stoppage, down 2 goals, and I'm like, okay, it's probably over, but I'm still gonna stay. It doesn't matter, like, just if it's yes, maybe beat the traffic, but be loyal to your team, especially if you're in the supporters section. Stay loyal.
Yeah. The way I see it is
Don't
like you also
leave the
paid
game early.
you paid for the admission. You might as well get your money's
Yeah.
worth, right? But
Get your money's worth. Yeah.
But yeah, that's just me. Yeah. So Gavin, thank you for hanging out, and we got you here for a win finally. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's good
Finally,
stuff.
hopefully you'll
yeah.
be. I should be on next week too. Hopefully we win that one too.
Sounds good. Awesome.
Hopefully.
Looking forward to it.
Hey,
All right, man.
Thank you guys for
Thank you,
having
Gavin.
me.
Yeah, no
have
problem.
a great night, man. Absolutely.
You guys have a
As
great
always.
night.
You too. Thank
See
you,
ya.
man.
All right. 1 second. Get our next guest on, and before that, let me read some of these comments. What do we got here? Send in your comments into the YouTube chat, guys, and we will get to them. We promise. Yep. Jack Dickens says, "Oh, and by the way, I confess I may have had watery eyes when Miggy scored my Prince." And Brian Diefendorf, if you're Waffle House United FC on Twitter, welcome. I know you. I've seen you before. Ingest 100 says, "Player of the match was number 50 on Put team who cost us 2 goals on our team. It also cost us to be motivated and play the way we always should be playing." In a way, yeah, it's kind of funny like that. Gavin also says, "You learn something every day. Never leave a United game early." Omar says, "Agreed, Gavin. I played the prize." Jack Dickens says, "Clearly Saba is a right wing, not left. He is so much better on the right." Connor says, "Saba the trickster, own goal merchant." Clean Clip 917 says, "So what was the changing setup? Silva to left, Saba right, Almorin has 10 with Maranchuk as 8, and pretty much." Shannon Sharp says that I agree, but this show seems to only want to recognize the contributions of the superstars. We get to all of them, don't worry. Do you think we should try Alexi at the left back as well? Brian Divenaz says, "Saba has been the most consistent fighter for this team since last year. Maranchuk with a lucky goal." I mean, I don't know if I call it lucky. He was at the right place at the right time, stepped right, hit it clean.
And it was well taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's lucky about it. And yeah, another shot at us. It's someone's just always trying to take shots at us. But did we talk about fortune? Yes, we talked about. Yeah, did you miss it? Yeah, must have. Yeah, but if you're gonna again try to call us out, you best not miss.
Yeah. Let's see.
Anyway. So
Yeah.
some more?
Yeah, I want to read a couple more, and then we can move on and get to Drew. I'm sure who's chomping at the bit. Kyle says, "Was this the first time Derek Williams ever played a ball over the top?" Sheesh. And Lex Zone 6 says, "Maranchuk at the 8, Miggy at the 10, Sab on the right. Let's not get cute anymore, Dyla." All right, Drew.
Again, though, I don't think it's a, it's not every single match type of thing. Like, it's going to get exposed. You're going to, yeah. Basically, Maranchuk is not an 8 that can defend at any point, really. That, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to rely on that for 34 matches. Nah, that's that ain't happening. But Drew, did you get a haircut?
Yeah.
Nice,
Okay.
very nice.
All
Slick
right.
back.
Yeah, it's different. I like it. Anyway, go on. What are your thoughts?
Why is this team on crack half the time? Holy crap. This team's gonna make me an alcoholic at this point, because it went 3-1, and I grabbed a bottle of Kraken.
Ooh, what
I
kind? Was it
was
the, like,
ready
110 proof one?
Yeah. I was
Kraken's
ready
delicious.
for pain.
Yeah.
And as soon as I poured that, everything started turning around, and I was like, why? Why?
Just Kraken, or did you chase it with the wing?
Kraken and Coke.
Yeah.
Right now.
Okay,
But since you poured it, you got to finish it now. So.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, should have just started with it. Clearly, that was the difference.
Exactly. But this game was crazy. This team is so hot and cold. It's we gotta find a consistency. But the second half of this game gives me more hope. It gives me more hope that we can find a consistency. There was a couple mishaps at the back for the first 2 goals, and then the Chong Kui goal that I can't blame him too much. It's his first start with no prep time. He basically was going into the game cold almost, because last second we have to swap him for Amador, and you can tell he had nerves. You could see at points where he was nervous on the ball, didn't make the best decision. He would sometimes release the ball into space and nobody's there, and that's just, you can just tell that it's a young player just trying his best. And I'm not going to get mad at him too much about this, because there is potential with him, and that is good to see. Now, the rest of the team. Schlich going out with the injuries, not great. He was okay in the first half. He had a couple iffy plays, but he also had some decent defensive breakups on the counter that New York had. And Derek Williams on that goal was, you can just tell he wasn't, he switched off for a second, and that was a massive issue there. That's a sort of situation you can't switch off. Doesn't matter if you think the goalies can control that fully or somebody else is going to be in that position. You've got to be ready for anything at that moment.
Yep.
Marenchuk is starting. Yeah, I was going to say Marenchuk is starting to get back into what we saw the end of last season. He's not the flashiest. He doesn't always show up on the score sheet, but he's always has an impact in the game. He gets a goal here. He kind of was a facilitator for for the rest of the goals for this game, or a lot of the chances later in the game, in a deeper position. And I think that we're finding out that is his best role, is maybe even if he is playing as a 10, let him drop back deeper and facilitate the passing a lot more from a deeper line position.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, and that's the thing with I think the setup of the team right now is that it's confusing. It's these players. Yeah, it's that first half, I think, just exemplifies it. Like, they have no chemistry with that setup, and they're getting in each other's way. I mean, even for the goal, they still got in each other's way. Just like, somehow, they didn't bash heads.
It was almost another car accident.
Yeah. But luckily, Miggy got his goal. Latte got his goal. I mean, yeah. Do you feel like this is a catalyst, like others were saying, in that this can really spur the team on?
I think it can. I think Dyla does need to change up where players are played at this point. We've kind of seen it 2 games in a row. Saba works better on the opposite side. He has so much more impact on that side. Letting Marenchuk, maybe not moving him away from the 10 and putting him as an 8, but maybe letting him play as a 10 in a deeper position, and letting him kind of sit back in the attack like a kind of weird 6-10 hybrid, and let him spray passes out and create the best way he knows how to do. And letting Miggy then be able to fill in that space. And we know our backs can push forward well. Amador and Lennon push forward well. Let them be the width, and now you have a more unified attack and less people getting in the way of each other. And that's going to be the biggest thing for us, is because we're starting to connect the passes. That was one of the things I said last week, is don't stress too much right now. The passes are almost there. Once they start connecting, that's when this team becomes way more dangerous, because once they start to develop a rhythm and know each other's tendencies, we even saw it, or we heard it from some of the documentary that came out last week or this week. They're still getting to learn each other's tendencies, where they like the ball played, how the weight of the passes that they like. That takes time, and they are starting to develop that 6 games in. That is very good. We'll see if this can keep going and we can keep progressing off of that, but I have high hopes.
Who do you think was the best? Who had the best performance for us tonight?
Saba probably had our best performance.
Okay, that's 2 for Saba.
He was a menace once he was swapped to the other side. You can tell the confidence he has, and he's so dangerous for a defender with his pace and with the options that he has. He is not afraid to cross. He's not afraid to take you on and cut in and take a shot. That is a defender's worst nightmare at that point, is trying to backpedal and deal with that sort of pace and shiftiness. So
yeah, I just think also his inability to ever lift his head to look for a pass is absolutely sending me to an early grave. So I hope he can actually do that more. Just like, I can't tell you, like, there was at least twice this game where he just had head down. Miggy made a run where he's wide open, and it would have been devastating if he thread that pass, but he just never looked up, so he never saw it. He just plowed ahead.
Yep.
So.
That's the one thing that he does lack, is that ability to pick his head up real quick and take a look. And it's usually that cutback ball, not the direct cross. It's the cutback, and there's always a man wide open. He just doesn't see it.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts, Drew?
Oh,
yeah, go for it.
That's the interesting bit, though. That's the interesting bit, is that we have 2 of those players on the right, but somehow it looks better when they're both on the right. It's it's just odd, but yeah, go on, man.
And say final thoughts here. I like where this team is headed. I like how we finished off this game. This game was wild, and our ability to fight through that, and the mental strength to fight through that and get the 3 points is great to see, because we had a lot of questions about that early on in this year. Do they have the mental fortitude to fight through tough games like this? And that's good to see, and we got a lot of contributions, maybe not on the stat sheet, but we had a lot of players that played a decent role in this game toward the end of the game. Mm-hmm. Will Riley, even for his brief cameo, had some amazing plays to see the victory out, and that is great to see.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Drew, thank you very much for coming on and sharing your opinions with us in this game.
Sure, it's both, man.
Yep, we'll talk to you next time, and hopefully it's another win in this homestead of 3 we're going through.
Yep. Well,
enjoy that rum and coke, man.
Uh-huh.
Bottoms up, buddy. All right, yeah, and someone needs to, I guess, confiscate the Crisco from Saba, because I feel like there's a little bit of a spraying going on the ball when he's kicking it towards defenders. I don't know how else you can have 2 back-to-back games with basically the exact same type of own goal. Like, that's incredible. All right, we'll get some of these.
I mean, I don't think they should confiscate it. Obviously, it's working clearly.
It's more for the dark arts, yes.
Yes.
All right, so we're waiting for our next guest to come on. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, it's kind of the return of the cardiac kids now. Feels like the comeback kids for Atlanta United.
It is a little bit, and yeah, it's like, you know, we score first, we get scored on. We get scored on, We come back. It's I think I'd rather just have like a 2-0 win. That'd be great. That'd be way better on my heart. Way better on, I think the roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. Shannon says, AJ, you're creating a narrative about Alexi. It isn't that sophisticated. A great comeback, but working really hard to give more credit to Alexi than he deserves. I mean, I thought he did.
What?
I thought he scored a goal, and he had like 0.26 expected assists this game, and I thought he had a lot of good through balls. He had a 95% pass accuracy, like 3 out of 5 completed like long ball passes. I think he did pretty good considering he was part of an attack that ended up with 4 goals. So I thought he did pretty good tonight, specifically because I think he was moved a little bit around, as to AJ's point earlier. So I don't know if you wanted to comment on that before we moved on.
I don't understand the point. I don't know what
you're saying. You gave Alexi a little too much credit for this game, but so I thought it was an appropriate amount of credit. But anyway, Johnny Perez says Mira was great, no cap, as if to literally comment on it. Gavin says Shannon, I thought the refs sucked, by the way. Oh, and this, yeah, it's a callback to a previous episode. Yeah, the reffing, we haven't even touched on that yet, but a lot of hate on the refs tonight. Ray Kwan says, how do y'all feel about Brooks Lennon as a defender? Because never was a fan of his as a defender, but people swear I'm wrong. I mean, he's not good as a defender. He's good
he's
at
not
attacking.
a defender. He's a converted winger as a fullback. And that much is apparent. He crosses the ball a lot. Sometimes we'll get assists. Sometimes we'll cut out some decent balls in defense. But is he switched on all the time? No. And that was apparent tonight. Like, it's just, he's working his way back into match fitness. Yes. But, I think he's one of the weak links in the defense, for sure. I think Matt Edwards coming on tonight, though, I think he did a good enough job as kind of a, kind of inside fullback a little bit. Or inverted fullback, but I mean, it's like, okay, like some pieces off the bench that can at least hold it down, even though they did have a ball in the back of the net. It was offside, thankfully, but very offside, to be fair. But that was a heart and mouth moment. It's like, oh god, just we don't need to see the net ripple when it's that late.
Mm-hmm.
The 8 minutes was absolutely just garbage. Should never have been 8 minutes. I think 6? I think 6 would have made sense.
All right.
What do we got?
We are having a debut tonight on the show. We got A-Dot. Oh, he took your place on the cam thing because on Discord, A-Dot is like is before AJ alphabetically. So Discord's just like, nah, you're moving over, scooching over. So that's what we're gonna deal with, and I don't care to fix it right now because that takes time and effort. So anyway, A-Dot, welcome. You will be AJ for tonight. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We're doing great. Obviously, big win. Psyched about it. Really kind of took the crappy narrative that was going on and broke it like Bane with Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't figure out the second half. Well, hell, like what the heck was that?
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, take us through it. What were your feelings about this game?
Yeah. When they scored that first goal, I was like, please don't turn into another one of these games where we just stop being good and we just stop being what we should be and being the Atlanta United that we need to be. But then when Alexi equalized, I kind of leaned back into my chair a little bit. I thought we had it a little bit more covered, even though it was an okay performance in the first half. Obviously, Amador, you felt his absence, and Chong Kui coming in, he was all right. And then when you get to the second half and then they scored 2 immediate goals, that was I had to walk upstairs for a second. That was crazy.
Take a breather.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, Derek Williams, what are you doing? That's too many errors there that lead to goals. And Sean Kui having another error that led to a goal, but like
I mean, really uncharacteristic from Williams, right? I mean,
Right.
that was really, I did not expect. He was just having a hell of a night.
Right. But like Dyla said, I think that's just a debut game for Sean Kui. He's going to be amazing once we really get him to develop more. He's still pretty young. And then we went and decided that we want to score 3 goals. So that was really fun to see. That was great.
Did you expect that?
The goals are always fun, yeah.
I thought it was going to be a 3-1 win. And then
Oh yeah, you watched the
was
episode.
quickly-
You took my opinion. Got it.
Yeah.
AJ over here. Oh, it's gonna be 2-2.
I mean,
I think we were both wrong. Like,
yeah, but I'm not satisfied with the win. I feel like we had great attacking plays, but I didn't like the way the defense is shaping up. And keep Saab on the right, please, Ronnie. You can see that he forced another own goal on the right, and he has been playing great on the right. We've seen it before in the past seasons, and we saw it yet again tonight.
so would you keep Moranchuk as an 8 and then Miggy at the 10, or what would you
Oh
do?
gosh, it's hard because I think that Miggy did really, really well at the 10 position, but at the same time, where else do you put Moranchuk? I don't think he's fit to be a winger. He doesn't really have that play style or speed, but maybe go with like I don't even know. I don't even know what to do at that point. I guess maybe stay as a winger, but stay back a little. I don't know, but I think try Miggy on the left for a game, see if that works a little bit well, and then if it doesn't, put him at the 10. Kind of a last resort.
Which would make it very tough because, Moranchuk is making a lot of money, and if he either has to go to the bench or, if Click can't get it together with his health, his age, sickness, whatever it is, I think Moranchuk isn't that far off from Click as far as defensive contributions.
Yeah,
So maybe...
that was literally my point last time. Because I'm just like, okay, who would I rather run onto the ball, if a ball's like coming out of the box or something like that, and Click or Moranchuk? And I literally said this in the episode last time. I'd rather have Moranchuk running onto that ball. And guess what happened tonight? Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as, I guess, obviously there's a lot of goals. Did you have a favorite? Because
Favorite? Yeah.
some are good. One's probably not that good, but yeah. There's 4 to pick from.
I think the Miggy header definitely really showed he's going to be good. We've seen him be great for us in the past, and he's still going to be good this season. Great. It's really good to see him get a first goal when he's back on the team, and it really equalized the game, made the game look like we can really do this. This is really possible.
Yeah, kind of get the, all the cylinders firing, get the confidence up. All of our DPs are scoring now. Everyone's kind of feeling themselves. Hopefully can ride that into the next game, because there's no reason why we shouldn't have a similar output for next game as well. We should just maybe tamp down on the amount of goals we let in. Get that differential up, man. Come on.
Defense definitely needs some work here, and if Amador, fingers crossed, is back for next game, I don't think that John Kui will have it. I don't think so.
Indeed. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Not satisfied. I'm satisfied with the attack, not satisfied with the defense. But I really think that we can get a good win against Dallas, and we can really go. This is a great thing to kick it off into the momentum. This is a great result for the attack to show we do have something to bring to the table, and we have good squad depth now. The injuries shouldn't be too much of an issue, and hopefully get at least 3 goals into the back of the net against Dallas. A home game. Dallas hasn't been the greatest team, but still expecting great things to see at the Benz next week.
We will need 3 goals because Lucho, again, will get one. That's almost guaranteed.
Of course.
Yep. So hopefully, let's manifest that 3-1. If Mike, you want to call another somehow win with a lot of goals.
Easy done.
Hopefully,
Easy.
Easy dub. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you.
Yeah, ATL, is there anything you wanted to plug before you go?
Yeah, so I do a podcast for Spotify that I'll have an episode weekly. I go over most of Atlanta United things and go over the MLS, news, tournaments, transfers, anything like that. Weekly episodes, you can find me on Spotify, United in the 5. So check that out.
Thanks, buddy. Take care. Have a good one.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to
See
you
you guys later.
Yep.
All right. Peace. All right, and then we'll get our next guest on. See what Nick has to say. Not the Nick from before. There are 2 Nicks. Both wonderful human beings. So as we're waiting for him to come on, let me see some more of these comments. It's a lot of banter back and forth. Yeah.
Is that 5? Is that 5?
Yeah, but there's also so Connor was supposed to be on now, but he's running late because of traffic.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's all in the back end, the green room. I'm figuring it out. It's okay. So Kyle Apgar says,
we're ready at Nick.
Yeah, losing a game is a start, blah blah blah. Start cracking and coke. Biggest lesson I've seen is we can't have Williams and Gregerson on at the same time with our high line. They don't have the pace to cover. Well, I know Gregerson does have the pace. Williams just clearly doesn't. But I mean, like, the things for Williams tonight weren't exactly on him so much per se. Like when it comes to running, I would say, but it's more like just comically bad touches and other decision making. That was really the problem. But yeah. All right, so we got. I need to switch the names around again real quick, but so for the time being, Nick, you're currently AJ. Nick,
That's
how
fine.
you doing?
You know what? Well, y'all couldn't have timed that better because we literally just left the MARTA station. That is incredible by you guys.
I'm good at what I do.
I mean, I believe it. So, how y'all feeling? That was a wild one. Roller coaster, if I've ever said so myself.
Oh, yeah. It's we call it a roller coaster. I mean, my emotions don't need this right now. And it is definitely yes. Do we need to stop shipping goals? Yes. Do we need to score as many goals as we do? Yes.
I said, do we need to stop scoring goals? No, we don't. That was...
Yeah.
God, I remember, pardon my language, but after we went down 3-1, I was being, the biggest little bitch I've ever been in the supporter section in my entire life. And then, when the own goal went and I was like, whatever, we can't even do this ourselves? Come on. And then, in 3-3, I'm like, oh, okay, this is probably how this is going to go. And then, did y'all see the stat from MLS Comms that was the only other time we've done this was that San Jose win back in 2018 on that random Wednesday at 11
I didn't
PM.
have to see that communication, but I did know that, yeah.
See, I hadn't been on Twitter or anything much, and then I saw that, and I was like, wow, that's crazy that happened today.
And that's 7 years ago.
The first thing also... Right, that's crazy also. 7 years is absolutely wild.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Hey, Nick, fix your internet. I think you switched from wireless to from Wi-Fi to 5G or something, or vice versa.
Probably vice versa. Or no, he's walking into a tunnel or something. So yeah, we'll keep it going. We'll just keep talking until he can sort it out. But
I can read some more comments if you want.
Let's do it. All
right. Shannon says Chong Kui made a mistake and he will learn from it. Drew, what is your starting 11? I guess there was a conversation in the chat about it. There was more structure tonight and the wingers played their position. AJ, did you see Edwards step up and left him offside? We have to support the homegrowns. It's like, yeah, we definitely support the homegrowns, for sure. We've definitely given them the plaudits that they deserve when they step up. I mean, like, the whole thing with Edwards last week, like, we talked about how, yeah, he got exploited by Evander, but it's like, I fully expect that to happen. I expect that to happen for non-homegrown players. And so
Exactly.
it's not to take away from him at all. He did a good job regardless of kind of getting styled on a bit. Like, that's just going to happen. And I don't take that from him. He still did a good job. And I would still say the same thing with Dominic John-Kui tonight as well. It's like, yeah, he got styled on at one point and he made a little bit of a silly move, but he still did a good overall, I think. So these things are going to happen.
Like I
you
mentioned
have to
at the top
build
of
them
the
into your
show.
expectations. Yeah.
Yeah, at the top of the show, I mentioned that Dominic John-Kui defensively looked good. It was on the ball that he had some issues. So, it's
and that's to be
like he looked
expected.
aggressive. Right, like positionally, he looked like he was, body shape wise, in the right position to be able to cut out crosses, to be able to, shepherd his man towards the sidelines, and so yeah, absolutely, it's it's the on the ball poise that these homegrowns will eventually learn, and
they're
that takes time.
And like Shannon said, they're getting valuable knowledge and experience by going through these this cauldron, this baptism by fire in these games. The Kung Fu says Weiss knows all the stats. Weirdo. It's like, well, actually no, I only know 46.5% of the stats. So Shannon says Williams made the same mistake against Charlotte a few weeks ago, and it led to a goal. Yeah, I mean, he has exploitable aspects to him. I mean, he's like an MLS veteran, not exactly, LA Galaxy let him go and basically on free. Like, there's a reason why he's not super sought after. He just was kind of, over the last season or whatever, he did very well, and he proved himself to be a very indispensable piece for us on a very good budget, and so we could afford a lot of high flying attack, which I think is fair. I'm okay with having a little bit of a leaky defense if our attack is on fire. It's when it's not on fire is when I'm like, maybe we should have put a little bit more on defense. But and I think that's probably about it for the comments. So you guys get more comments in if you guys want for us to see them and talk about them before we get out of here. Let's see. Do we have Nick back on Wi-Fi? Hopefully. In the car, even better. Nick, are you back?
There we go. Wireless in the car. There we go.
It was the whole parking deck. We went from 4 bars to 1, like nothing. And I saw you guys and I didn't, so I apologize for that.
Yep, no problem. So
All
anyway,
good.
where were we?
We were. The first thing I was going to say is, can we talk about how Latte Lath is a cheat code? Like, oh my God, that chip for the 4th goal, that's like Messi-esque.
Yeah.
And I'm going to credit my girlfriend. She's right here dealing with me being on a YouTube stream instead of driving us home. So thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Hannah.
No problem, y'all.
So oh my God, that chip, like that's what Lionel Messi did to us 2 weeks ago. Like,
Yeah.
we don't see that in Major League Soccer. That's what 2022 plus add-ons get you.
Hey,
That's
hey.
odd.
I take a little bit of umbrage with that. I thought that goal was extremely Joseph Martinez-esque, like vintage Joseph Martinez.
Very much so. I mean, you're right. Like, I mean, you're talking about strikers in MLS history. Like, they're both in the top 5 easily. But he's that's in our past and that's in our future right now. So our future and present. So yay, Latte Lath.
So, just on that, who's like the top? It's kind of a little hard tonight. 2 people have said Saba so far. Who do you think was our top performing guy tonight?
Top performing guy tonight. I mean, Saba had an assist and the own goal. I think it's a good shout. I mean, God, when Miggy moved inside, I mean, that was 2018 Miggy right there. So I mean, he deserves a shout too. Probably someone no one else is gonna say. How about Matt Edwards coming in for DCQ and being an attacking left back on the left side? Like, he kind of looked like Pedro Amador over there. He wasn't just doing a Pedro Amador impression. That was some attacking left back stuff. He could have had an assist if Miggy had just put that ball right on the instead of right at the keeper. So
he had some tasty crosses in. Yeah.
That's on his opposite side too. I mean, shout out Matt Edwards, shout out Jay Fortune for being by himself in midfield. Like, oh my God, that was crazy too. But yeah, I think a lot of those are good shouts. I think Saba's a good one. Latte Lath, like what he does in possession, for us to have 3 goals and him not score one is something we have not had since 2019, Joseph. Like, no one else has done that in possession for us for years and years and years too. So lots of good things tonight. Lots of things we don't want to see again either on the defensive side. But I'm sure Ronnie will yell about that enough to the point where I don't have to.
Yeah. Speaking of Ronnie, how did you think he did tonight?
He was fantastic. I haven't seen anything on Bartek's leash. So if you guys have, then that would be news to me. But
it's the knee, and it's not serious, apparently.
Not serious, but didn't want to risk him or anything. I get it. Early in the year and all that. So, especially coming off internationals, like he plays for Poland. So I get it. Jay is mobile enough and physical enough to do the job there. I think he did a good job. I think that was the right call at halftime.
What did you think about Abram for Gregerson?
I really didn't, to be honest. I was like, okay, well, that's probably a better ball playing guy, and Norway is farther away than Peru, and they both played over internationals. So if Stian couldn't go 90 tonight, I think that's fine. It's better than.
I don't think Stian even played for Norway, but he did travel. But I don't think he even played.
Yeah, it might just be the travel. We also don't know when he got back either. Like if Peru's last game was maybe earlier than Norway's last game, like I'm not privy to all those details, especially my inebriated self at the moment. But it could have been anything, and I won't be worried about Gregerson. I still think if Gregerson plays the way he does for 25-30 games, he's a Defender of the Year candidate, which is crazy to say considering how up and down he was last year. But he was very good today overall. I mean, I don't think any of the goals were specifically on him. Poor Derek Williams, poor Brooks Lennon having to deal with what we saw Ronnie can be like in the Rooted in the Stripes video, because they're going to get it after this one. DCQ shouldn't get it. Chankwi is 17. He'll grow out of it. He'll learn from this experience. Williams, you're twice his age. Come on, man. That first goal was not great. And I love Derek Williams. He's one of my favorite players on the team. But man,
yeah, personality-wise, the guy's outspoken and eloquent, and he's great to hear from.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that he got one hell of a bum rap tonight. That was a rough game that he's going to want to put in the rearview mirror.
Oh, yeah. So, well.
Yeah, did you have a favorite goal?
A favorite goal? I mean, that shit, man, is just so professional. So incredible. Like, you just see that floating upwards, and you're like, no way that's going in.
I didn't think it was going in.
And we sit in 102. My friend is a flag waver, so he waves the flag behind us, and we're the row in front. Like, when you're 4th, 5th row in 102, it's like, that's coming right at me. Is that really going to make it in there? And then it did. Like, that's great. I watched Miggy's header back. Like, we couldn't really tell who scored that. We were just like, oh, yay, it's tied 3-3, yay.
Yeah.
And you watch it back, and you're like, man, I wanted his first goal back for this to be a little more exciting than that. Like, even on the replay, you can't really tell that that's him. Like, there's 2 guys right there for that header. Like, that could have been bad in another universe.
Yeah, because, like,
that could have been 2 head injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
we talked about it earlier. It was like, yeah, they could have bashed heads, and it could have, yeah, exactly, a different universe. We're not talking about a 4th goal because, yeah, they bashed heads. If so, yeah, luckily it is not that universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Latte whipped his head in, and so you thought he's the one who catches it, but it was just Miguel.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I think my last thought is I'm still. We've conceded the second most goals in the conference. I was kind of looking at the tables and stuff. Like, scored the 3rd most, tied for the 3rd most. However you want to do the tiebreakers there. But, like, up there with the league leaders, I think that's fine. And I don't think we will be in the league leaders in goals conceded when it all gets there at the end of the year. But these individual errors are just going to kill us if we don't fix them. I think that's my parting thought with this. Like,
that's really it. You got to fix those individual errors. They're not systematic. Like, I think the system is fine. You got to put the players in the right place in the system. There's a lot of different ways you could do that. We saw that today. Like, Moranchik got his goal from the center. Miggy got his goal from the center. However you decide that's going to work, that's fine with me. It's the defense that you just got to stop making those errors, man. Like, better teams are going to capitalize and score more than 3 on us if we're not careful.
It's just mentality. It's like that's what he was talking about. It's a mentality issue kind of thing. So hopefully we can get that worked on. It's weird because it's like a game of whack-a-mole. It's you think like you figured out what the problem is with one player, and then another player it's like it's contagion and it spreads to another one. It's like this guy now he has a good game and he does well, but now this guy is struggling, and then that guy will have a good game because he got talked to or whatever, and then another guy starts, and you're just like, oh my god, can we not just have everyone be on the same page and be all right?
Absolutely. And really, the one time the starting backline played together, like against Miami, they were really good. Like, that set piece goal was so weird, and Salisha's not in the backline to make that error. Like, they were really good against Miami. Like you can look at DCQ for 2 of the 3 goals today if you really wanted to pin him for the first one. I guess you could, and for the third one especially, like, oh my god. But you wonder, like, when that back line gets 4 or 5 games in a row together, like, how it'll look. So I think it will only get better, but if it doesn't get better, like, you're gonna have to look at that in the summer, I think. And I think that's okay. Like, for us right now, I think it's fine. You'll get there, and if you look at it in the summer, you look at it in the summer.
Yeah. All right, so by the way, I just have to say this before we do anything else. The Kung Fu in the chat says, Hannah is the MVP. So you got a fan, Hannah, in the chat.
Let me be famous right now.
And also, I want to read off some of the stats from this game too. This is another game where we had less possession than the other team. They had 55% overall, and in the first, specifically, they had 58. According to SofaScore, we had 1.71 expected goals and scored 4, which is pretty wild, and they had 1.99. Exactly 2, basically. So they exceeded us in XG, even though we buried them 4-3.
Well, the PK is 0.8 too, so exactly. I wonder what the PK does to that.
Yeah.
Versus us not having the PK, so who knows?
That's true. They had 4 big chances.
That first goal as well. Yeah, it's right in the 6-yard box. I mean, it's a gimme chance as well.
That goal was probably like a 0.9 too.
Yeah, that's true.
0.9.
So there were 4 big chances for either team. We outshot them 14-9. We had 7 corner kicks. They only had 1. Fouls were fairly even. We had 12. They had 16. Still a lot. That's a lot, I think, for them. But we had 12. It's a good amount. They had a lot. They had like over 100 more passes than us. Tackles were even. Free kicks were similar. And we only had 1 yellow card on our side. So all that, does that trigger anything in your brain?
It's interesting because, you see the only 2 shots on goal through like the 65th, 70th minute around there. And you wonder, like, oh my God, like, is this the same as it was in years prior? Like, is this just the same old, what, over and over and over again? But that's where you go back to how Ronnie did tonight. Like, I think he put the players in the position to go and chase the game and get it. And they obviously have to go and execute. Like, I would lose my mind last year when things were going bad, like that 5-game home losing streak in a row, and we would lose 1-0 or 2-1, and people would be like, "It's Pineda's fault." I was like, "The hell is he supposed to do? Go put it in the net himself?" Like they have to go execute. And today we saw, like, we have a quality manager who knows how to put the play. Like, he saw this isn't working. Miggy, you're in the middle. Moranchik, you're the 8. Like, Jonde, you go out wide. Like, Jonde had an okay day out wide as a sub today. Edwards, you at left back. Like, you and Jonde figured that out. Saba, you and Lennon have had a partnership before. Like, that all can work. And I think he had a good day because the players went and executed. But the players also have to go and do that. It's not just on the manager. And, that sparks me, like, well, if they really had 14 shots and 9 on target, most of those were towards the end of the match after he made the adjustment, not with the starting lineups. So I think that's a really good sign going forward too.
I agree.
Yeah, the changes are good. It's also, though, he does also put out the starting 11. So, there is that.
If we're not starting there next week, I'll have a problem. I would probably be the first person to say, like, well, we ended this way and scored 3 goals like this last week. Like, why are we not starting that way? So who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
You know, we said
it's
a lot of us
Game
were
State too.
Yeah.
And a lot of us
Game
were saying,
State
like, you need... Absolutely. And a lot of us were saying, hey, you need 7 to 9. Like, 7 minimum, really 9. Like, you got 3. At the end of the day, like, 3 points are on the board. You're up a couple places in the East. Like, okay, we got what we needed today. You met the expectation. I don't really care how we got there at the end of the day, considering how the last 5 years have gone. Like, just get there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Speaking of standings, we are now in the East 10th place, and I think it's very important to mention that now puts Orlando in 11th place. So mind the gap of 1.
So how's their game against the Galaxy going?
They're currently losing 0-1, which puts them at 11. So hopefully that continues to be the case.
I agree with that.
Galaxy.
Yeah, let's go let's go lag. All right. So, final thoughts, Nick.
My DoorDash is 12 minutes from my house, and I am 8 minutes from my house. So I'm gonna go beat my DoorDash to the house.
Nice.
Awesome. Because Pookie wants her burger real bad over here, so we're gonna go get that burger. But thanks for having me on, and thanks for dealing with my difficulties in the garage. And we'll see you later.
Yeah, no problem.
Absolutely, no worries. Enjoy, guys.
Have a good one, guys. See you later.
See you.
All right, so we have one more guest to get to, and then we'll be out of here. It's almost midnight. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. I guess Hannah's kind of a celebrity in this chat right now. We have a team also saying Pookie in the chat. Brian Diefenbach says 2 massive individual errors led to goals, ridiculous goals. The Kung Fu says 9 points. Moranchuk is stale in the midfield. Lucky he had a goal. Again, I don't know if it's lucky. Brian also says own goal is our second leading goal scorer for Atlanta United right now. So with that, Connor, how do you think own goal is going to stay with us, or do you think they're bound to get transferred out?
They're going to get transferred out, honestly.
Yeah, they're lacking a little bit defensively, aren't they?
Yeah. It's also the assists just kind of dry up from the other team usually. So
yeah, that's true. So how are you doing? How did you find the game, and what did you think about? Roller coaster of a game. Am I right?
Yeah, it's stressful to say the least. Honestly, it wasn't even like that bad of a game. I thought we were very okay. It was just kind of like a lot of things. I was like,
Connor, let me stop you there for a second. AJ did use the words "we were played off the pitch in the first half." Do you agree with that?
Really? I don't. I don't think we were good. I don't think we were played off the pitch I don't know. It was pretty. It was very just
a little pedestrian.
Yeah, we didn't look good.
Definitely.
NYCFC looked better, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't look that good either. They were better in terms of possession and trying to create things, but they didn't really materialize anything in the attacking third. I was like, okay, luckily for us at least, nothing was coming from them. And then in the second half, the whole script was changed.
Yeah. First half, it felt like a lot of our things were one step away, and a lot of their things were also one step away, and it was just it was kind of that. Although I guess I understand what you're saying. They were able to build out of the back. They were able to keep control of the game much better than we were. But
yeah, we were struggling to connect our lines pretty heavily in the beginning.
I understand where it comes from, but it was kind of.
You know what frustrates me the most, Connor, is watching. I've seen this in multiple games now, is where when we're doing that kind of reeling thing, where the team is reeling a bit, and it seems like we're caught, headlights like a deer. I've seen we'll just do this. We'll do this pattern of we'll build out the back slowly, and it'll be slow, and if we get to the attacking third, we'll kind of do the U of death a couple of times. A lot of times we'll end up losing it, or we'll do a listless shot or something that just doesn't materialize. But if we lose in transition, or if the other team gets the ball, whatever, it seems to be the case almost every time that, and this is just kind of a trait of getting attacked in transition, is that the other team will just 1, 2, or 3 triangle passes, and they're already knocking on the door for an attack. Where we took like a literal minute 30 seconds to get to this point, it took them like 15 seconds. And now it's just that breakneck kind of reaction is going to drain a team significantly. And I feel like when it's when we kind of get sucker punched and we kind of get, the wind taken out of us, is when that seems to happen. We're trying to get, I guess, settle the game. We get into possession-based mechanics, and then we can get hit on transition easier. And I feel like while that's a safe way to try and control the game again, it's also kind of our Achilles heel, and it really worries me when we're like that.
Yeah, I think one of the things that also, like, on the slow build up and just committing men forward, that I saw it a lot today, that frustrates me. It's like you're committed so far forward, but then you don't commit yourself into the box, and I'm like, you're already committed. You're the extra 6 yards.
Mm-hmm.
There were plenty of crosses that were to the back post that nobody was touching.
Yeah. I mean, we never do. Atlanta United is never at the back post. Like, it's been years. We know this.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. But I mean, it's. I think like the diagnosis out of it is, I think it's like it's the fear of not wanting to concede more or not wanting to get caught out is why they're not fully committing, is what you're saying. So that's my idea.
I think it depends on which player it is and which like area. I think for some players it probably is a bit of that. Like if you're a midfielder or a defender, like I think one of the big issues is on the right wing. Whenever Miggy comes inside, there's literally no one on the back stick. Like nobody's there because Brooks isn't going to get into the box, because that's where it comes into. He doesn't want to commit all the way there, because then in transition, everyone has to cover for him.
Yeah.
That's one of the downsides of Miggy coming inside. It's just what happens. But
it's true. It's true. I mean, yeah, at that point, it really should be probably Latte, or Moranchuk, because one of the two needs to space it out in the box to be able to, cover where a cross might be coming in. And so, it's a second striker's job, essentially, a number 10's job. But it's tough. Yeah, it is, because it's, Miggy on the right. Yeah, it's like he doesn't have a right foot. It just doesn't work. Like Moranchuk tried to do that in one of the matches.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. It was we saw it's also a standing only right foot.
You'd have to put it perfectly for him to have a chance. And that ball from Moranchuk, at least a couple games ago, was definitely hard for anyone to make a meal out of.
Right.
All right, Connor. So who's your top kind of player for our team tonight?
Let's see. I mean, Latte Lath, I think all around was very, very solid. One of the things for me that I particularly like about him is that he's working his socks off, not only up the field, but in the second half, once we got that winning goal, he was working his way back and he was defending, and he was the one pressuring, and he was putting on the pressure to win the ball back. And I think that's something that I don't even see half the players on the field doing that, let alone the striker. So I think that's one of the.
Let's meditate on that for a second, because I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I saw him on the broadcast at least once try and spurn everyone forward during an attack piece. He was trying to get everyone energized to be like, come on, let's go. And I was like, I haven't seen a player do that on our team in a while, try and physically motivate everyone to go forward, to attack and continue. That's something we definitely need more of.
I mean, he even did that to the fans a little bit today. He was kind of wake up a bit, and I was like, I'm in here. I don't know. I'm not that vocal, to be honest with you. I'm watching.
Just
I'm a
have
watcher.
a sign, Connor, that just says I'm watching. I'm here. I love you.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I'm like, I may not be loud, but I'm there. I'm watching. I see you.
So who
I
else?
mean, at least clap, you know? Like, that's the thing.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm up and clapping.
He's a clapper.
I'm not a
There
yeller.
you go.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's weird to me. I
I'm a
don't.
bit of both. A bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's people hear me in the stadium, but it's
I'm like, you'll
But
know
it's
what
one
I
of
think about it if I'm clapping, because I'm a stingy. If I don't like it, I'm not clapping. So
It's actually interesting. It's why AJ's voice actually always sounds like this. This is why, you know, that's why it sounds so deep, is because it's always so hoarse after a game. So actually, when you see him in real life, it's actually very high pitched. So it's really weird. A lot of people are taken aback by the
totally, yeah,
very taken
exactly.
aback.
It's a falsetto. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
So who else stuck out for you tonight?
Ooh, not Derek Williams. Not DCQ either. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, Derek, I thought was, other than literally one mistake, I was very like, I thought he was okay. DCQ, not really. I mean, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine with that. It's acceptable.
But yeah, exactly. I don't even, honestly, it was one of those things where it was like, it's just a bad touch. Like in the time I'm like turning, I'm like 99% sure Brad literally told him to turn. He just took a bad touch, so I'm like, whatever. It's not a big deal. Click in the first, he had that one really nice ball in the first goal. That was pretty nice. Other than that, I thought he was kind of not really, nothing to show much. Bit dribbly, which I was kind of surprised on. Took some weird little flaunts around, getting around defenders, but me, I was kind of on him again tonight. I thought it was really good goal, but I thought there was one that he absolutely scuffed in the. It was real not great, but honestly, I don't know. What have y'all thought about Moranchuk? I'm kind of in middle. I think there was some really great things, and I think there were some really there were some things I was like, still not there yet, still not exactly where I want it to be, but
yeah, I mean,
like I said, I think
go for it, AJ.
Yeah, the first half. Yeah. The first half, he was, I think, the best player for Atlanta United. I think that much was clear. It was not, that's not a high bar, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, because I think the goal helped him a lot as well. I think he was again piecing together the lines. So very much from a Moranchuk standpoint, this was like probably one of his best games that he's played for us. So probably in the top three. In the second half, yeah, he looked, I think, as far as being able to help us continue to spur forward and connect that defense with midfield to the attack. I mean, it's, again, one of his best matches because, and then plus, he looked always interested. And he did make himself available. I wouldn't say like every touch was perfect. I wouldn't say, every pass was perfect, but again, one of his better matches.
Yeah, I mean the stats alone for me, like the eye test made me think I thought he did pretty good in this game. 0.26, that's by far the highest expected assists on this team for this game. 57 touches, 96% accurate passes, so that's 45. He nailed 43 of them. He had 3 key passes, like 3 successful long balls out of 5. Like, 2 shots on target, 1 shot off target. I can't ask for that much more out of your DP. I mean, I'd prefer to get an actual assist, but I kind of feel like if Saba didn't use the defender as an assister, that someone else would have to potentially fill that role for us, and it would most likely be Moranchuk.
Yeah, it's just tough. Like his ball striking on from, like I said, from distance is poor, very poor, and but inside the box, he took the shot really well. So instinctually, it's fine. I think, if he gets a little bit too much time, and it's on his weak foot.
Forget about it.
It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Yeah, get it? Because we played New York City. Forget about it, right? You guys know? You guys know? Okay.
Walking here.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, yep. Yeah, that's some old people shit. So, what was your favorite goal?
Ooh, probably. Honestly, I really like Moranchuk's goal. I think it's one of those ones where we don't see that often. So I think that's it's kind of getting closer to the cutback. It's not really a cutback, but we're getting closer to that. I don't.
Yeah,
my version of cutback,
slightly cutback and then a little touch in the box, a little combo play.
Yeah.
I'm kind of strict on the cutbacks. I think people use that term a bit loosely. I'm kind of like, a cutback needs to be, you're getting to the byline and you're cutting it back. Like,
I agree.
I think some people use that kind of weirdly. But just like, I think it's one of those things where we don't see those kind of balls often. So I like it, but a bit lucky as well. But just good finish all around, good goal.
Good. I like it. Final thoughts.
Well, decent game. Probably didn't. I mean, stats say we didn't deserve it. Kind of felt like we didn't deserve it, to be honest. But it was okay. I mean, it was exciting, at least to finish it. I would have a lot different reaction if we didn't win. But
and there's two teams we pissed off in a row, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people are saying that this is going to be the turnaround game, but I'm also like, this feels exactly how the Montreal game felt. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Just like
we got by the skin of our teeth. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Although I will say, I think this one we saw more things that were kind of. Miggy and Moranchuk didn't look they looked to be at least a little bit more on their spacing between. They didn't look to completely cover each other, which I thought was something that, at least in the Montreal game in that second half, that was a real big issue. So some positives, but. Yeah.
And it's because Moranchuk was withdrawn a little bit more, and then Miggy was a little bit more forward. But it is that. I mean, it's like this game is not necessarily, like I said, replicable in terms of the types of goals. Like I said, maybe the one that is most repeatable is Saba's own goal. Like he's done it 2 matches in a row, but other than that, it's like
I mean, I don't agree about that. I mean, I think our most repeatable thing is just trying to either off of a set piece getting a header. You know, I think that's most likely either like, you know, a cross or a set piece from a corner, trying to get a header goal. I think that's probably most likely where most of our goals are going to come from. I want that not to be the case, but I think that we have a strong argument for being dangerous on set pieces.
I think we do, but I think, if we can feed Latte Lat a lot more, that's where I think we have repeatable goals. Him pressing and, you know, forcing a mistake is not exactly the most repeatable. I mean, he can probably make it happen again, but not for 20 goals. But, you know, the first goal probably is the second most repeatable in the sense that if you can find that spacing again and have some combination play inside the box, then yes, you can do that a lot more. But have we shown any inkling of that? I mean, just one.
It's also like the thing with the first goal. That's like the other thing, or the Moranchuk goal is like, how often are we having someone that wide open on a switch? I think we never, like, people defend against us so much. It's one of those things. I think it's a little bit of us, but it's also just the way teams defend against us and everything. It's a little bit. I don't.
I think, you know, to your point, I know like going into this, what we heard about Ronnie Dyla is that he also, one of his things is he likes big switches from wing to wing. And I think it may have been taking a little while for the message to get into the team, but I think maybe we're starting to see it materialize a little bit more, be more effective in coming up with some results. So maybe we'll see more of it. Maybe we'll see it more effective. Cleach hit a really good one. And I think Saba made himself available for a couple, and I think maybe we can keep that going. I'm excited to see, because like Other teams use big switches on us all the time, and it frustrates the hell out of me when we don't do it, when we just like build out the back with passing 10 feet each pass. So that, again, it was like kind of similar.
He did it really well.
Yeah.
I think they were causing us a lot of trouble in the first half because of that. I think the first 20 minutes, that's really where they were most dangerous, where they were getting in on that right and really causing us some problems, because they probably also realized it's like, okay, yeah, you have Dominique Chankui who's making his first. It's like, feed that side. That's actually what you should punish. And yeah, they got a goal on that side because of it. So yeah.
Let me hit up the final of these comments, and then we'll have Connor kind of weigh in on them as well, and then that'll be it for us tonight. Yeah, I still think own goal is going in the Hall of Fame along with cash considerations. Brian Divenov says own goal has given you Atlanta United 4 points in the last 2 matches. To be honest, the real MVP. Hood Crypto, that's a great name. Great comeback win today. I like us better when Zonde Silva is in. No. Anyway, Kung Fu says such a random game.
Okay, hold on. We should give him some plaudits for doing well in keeping us up in the latter parts of the match in the corner, because I think he wasn't afraid to get clattered. He wasn't afraid to get stuck in terms of if he needed to as well. But just keeping that possession in the corner, doing his best Pubo Torres impression.
Yeah.
But
and he got a great assist, so give him that. Definitely give him that. So,
he did.
He's just not a starter.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, he did well as being a sub, so that's good. And it's usually not the case, but this time he did good. My bit of my bias showing. So he's such a random game. We almost lost the game. If anything, our midfield needs an energy shot more than just the defense. I don't think so. Similar to how we look at and analyze the system of the offense and how is that repeatable, I think the issues that we had on defense is not necessarily like a system breakdown. It's like individual errors, like how Pineda would always talk about. Yep. So, it's not exactly like, it's part of the plan that Williams and Dominic just tap the ball to their strikers and wingers. Like, it's not, they don't go, hey, that's what we're going to do today. So I don't think that is something you can like beat out of them in training or something, right? So it's just not switched on.
Only one.
I think there is maybe to a degree where these players need to be more decisive. So, if they're going to, like, you can't just just be very passive when you're inside the box and you're trying to, handle the ball or, pass a ball inside the box. It's like you make the decision, live with the decision, but don't do something halfway.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what
measures.
Yeah. Yeah, the first and the third goal were pretty much half measures.
Yeah. And what was your comment, Connor?
I think with the Williams one, not necessarily that it is like systematically like something wrong with it. It's just one of the unfortunate things that can happen with like the high line is balls get in behind, and if it's the Williams, whenever Williams got it ball in behind, let him give away a penalty, whatever. Just high line, it is kind of what it is. Like some of those things are going to happen, and I think it's like one of those things where I think you saw in the second half, in the second half we won where Williams just headed it back to Guzan. It's kind of ideal if the ball bounces a certain way that happens, but it just kind of how it falls. You just got to clear it there, to be honest. It's kind of
agree. The Colonel says Latte completely manufactured the winning goal. Super impressive. Agree. And also, big time donation from Jeff, our good friend, good Patreon of the stream, Jeff Vanderland, $10 donation. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you so much. Lennon has spent 2 years spraying crosses with no headers on the other end. Will he have space to push up and send them with the frequency of the past? I don't know. I feel like it seems like our fullbacks are playing a little bit more deep lying playmaking instead of running to the byline these days. Maybe the wingers are more doing that right now. So I don't know if we'll be seeing that as much. And it seems like, at least in the last year, Lennon seemed off with his crosses. Maybe 2 years ago, Giacomakis, and he seemed to be connecting to a good degree. But for whatever reason, there seemed to be a slowdown there. I don't know if we want to go try that again, go back to that old well, or I don't know. But I think there may be an interplay between Lennon doing it sometimes and our wingers doing it sometimes, instead of exclusively only going with a fullback or something like that. So yeah, it's an interesting question. What do you guys think?
I think it's more where, yes, if they are crossing from deep, where Lennon's not trying to go to the byline every single time, because his cutbacks don't exist.
Yeah.
He's always just trying to pump it to the back post where nobody is. But we now have a striker that is going to at least, I think, get in the center of the box. Probably not expecting him to get to the back post every single time. But yeah, if that's his strength, if he can get to the back post a lot more, that's where Lennon sends his balls. Well, yeah, I think we can feast if that's really the tactic that we're going to use. I think, though, since we've seen it, that Latte goal where it was an early ball in and he was able to jump higher than anybody else because he's expecting it. Those are balls and goals that are absolutely repeatable. So,
exactly.
Yeah, if he wants to continue to do that, it's great.
Yeah, Connor.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna see the number of crosses from him. I think that's just almost impossible. I don't think it's gonna happen. Just because I don't think we want to cross as much as it's not necessarily that we don't want to cross as much. It's just that we don't want to put in nonsensical balls. If you have it in that position, you don't just want to whip it in. If you have the good opportunity, then you whip it in. Mm-hmm. Which I think Lennon just used to whenever he could, it was get it in the box. So I think that's
because we were desperate and we were chasing a game usually, and at that point you're just trying shit. But it's the dynamism of your crosses. It's not just one type of cross. It's the near post, back post, on the ground, in the air, cutbacks, like lots of different types of crosses. But I think that's the complaint that a lot of people have of Lennon, is that he only seems to just pump it.
It's very one-dimensional cross.
Yeah. Right. And that's gonna piss a lot of people off, and then also not really get you a lot of production. But I mean,
if we have like an insanely fast left winger who's always willing to crash the back post when he's spraying from the right, I mean, that would foreseeably, someone with a nose for goal, that could definitely pan out. But right now we don't.
I mean,
so.
Well, that's kind of, maybe it's like if Miggy wants to play that way, I mean, he would be landing on it with his strong foot at the back post if he wanted
head,
to play that way.
Which he can score with that apparently now.
He's deceptively tall. Like 5'9" is not. I just don't buy it.
Probably like 5'11", more like.
He's probably like I mentioned to Greg Gardner. It's like we are body doubles.
Yeah.
It's like
5'11", somewhere in there.
Yeah, because our buddy Miguel Ortiz took a picture with them, and they're like almost around the same height. Like, I think I remember.
Oh. And I'm taller than Miggy. Both Miggies.
Yeah, well, I need to double check that. I think I remember seeing that when he came. He got a picture with him at the airport.
So confusing. Well, no, I mean, he might have been, wearing higher shoes. You never know. Unless it's a full body shot.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know.
You never know.
Anyway.
All right, so that's about it. That's all for the comments. Thank you very much again, Jeff, and everyone else for hanging out with us tonight. That pretty much does it for us. Connor, thanks for hanging out, bud.
Yes.
We'll talk to you later for the hopefully another win. Maybe, you think so?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe we'll see. Okay, optimistic
Uh,
as ever.
Not-
All right.
Yeah. Hey, 7 points in the or 4 points in the next two. I'll take it. That's all I'm saying. 4 points in the next two.
I'll take it too.
But, yeah.
Sounds good.
Exactly.
All right,
I
man.
don't know. I thought we were gonna lose tonight.
Well, we're very welcome.
I was like,
Yeah.
no, exactly.
That could
All
have
right.
been
I'll talk to you
gone
later, guys.
anyway. All right, man. Take care.
All right, see ya.
Everyone.
All right. So yeah, hearing no objections from the chat, we will sign on out of here and get out, and then let you guys head to bed.
Yeah, but we do have some very fun stuff coming up in the future on these live streams as well. Plotting some fun things, so definitely stay tuned for that. But yes, for Michael, I'm AJ. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.